Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video to kind of talk about some tips I have for CNAs who are going through a new job orientation process and just some things that I've noticed about orientation when you are hired newly as a CNA. This is true for people who have been CNAs for a while and those who are new to being CNAs or recently certified, licensed, whatever. Um, I find that you some nursing managers or DONs or preceptors don't really feel like you have a handle on what you're capable of doing. So what you need to do is make sure that you're able to prove that you know what you're doing. I would also say that when you first start orientation, make sure that you are listening, ask any questions that you need to ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's a great time to ask questions. If there's something that you need a little bit of extra help or you need somebody to show you more than once, then make sure you do it while you're still on orientation, because once you get off orientation, um, it's definitely going to be different because you're going to be on your own and you're going to be expected to know what the proper procedures are based on how your facility handles things. Every facility is a little bit different as far as what they do on the different shifts. Um, Obviously, the shifts are pretty similar, but like I said, every facility has their different processes that they like done. For example, stocking the rooms might be something that's done with every shift, whereas at the hospital, um, it's mostly done on the night shift or the evening shift, but mostly night shift, because day shift has a lot to do, and yeah, they have a lot to do. Um, but also, I would say just be open. Don't take anything personally. Just be open to listening and ask for constructive criticism. Ask the nurses or your coworkers what they feel like you could improve on, or even ask your nursing manager or your DON or your supervisor what they feel that you could improve on, and then work to improve on those things or that thing. Because I feel like it's important to have a good idea of where you're standing, have a good idea of where you're at. And like I said, obviously they know that you're new to the company or the facility. They know that, especially if you are a new CNA, newly certified or whatever, um, you know, they know that you might need a little bit of extra time to understand things as compared to somebody who's been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years sometimes. Because I'm not saying that those people who have been doing it for that long know more than you, but they have a little bit more experience, so they might be able to just adapt to the new environment a little bit more quickly than you would, just because you're new. And that's not true for every new CNA. I've seen people who adapt to the changes and just jump right in and do great. But I've also seen people at the nursing home who are just really timid and they stand back and they need more extra instruction. They need a little bit more help. And I'll be honest, during my orientation at the hospital, at my newest position, the current position that I work at, um, when I was in orientation, I felt really awkward. Um, because like at the nursing home orientation they had people watch you for like a day, um, just to make sure that you knew what you were doing, but you know after that you were on your own. At the hospital they had people watching what I was doing for like 3 weeks, and it's just kind of awkward to have to deal with patients and kind of try to form a bond somewhat with these patients. And then also, they're wondering why somebody is standing there watching you, and it's a little bit of an awkward atmosphere. But, just roll with the punches. Like I said, be flexible, go into things with an open mind. Don't just, shut down and freak out about everything, because it's a learning process. The healthcare field is constantly changing. There's new information all the time. There's always something to learn. And I feel like, Eventually, it comes a lot easier, and eventually you will find your groove. But during orientation, they expect a lot out of you. They do a lot of training. At the hospital, we did a lot. We did a whole lot, and I'm going to make another video kind of talking about the different types of things they did with us during orientation at the hospital. To kind of give you an idea of why I was on orientation so long, but also from long-term care facilities like nursing homes and, long-term acute hospitals. Those are different than hospitals because you have expanded list of things that you are going to need to do. And I've talked about a few of them, such as like bladder scans and things like that. At the nursing home, we couldn't do blood sugars or anything. The nurses did all of that. And, at the hospital, you do bladder scans, you do blood sugars, you do, well, night shift doesn't do temperatures and things like that. The CNAs at the hospital don't do vitals as far as blood pressure and pulse and respirations and all that. The nurses do that. But on day shift and evening shift, the CNAs do temperatures, but on night shift, the nurses want to do that, so we don't do that as night shift CNAs. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say is just be open, go into it with an open mind. Don't close yourself off to constructive criticism. It can really help you. If you need help, ask for it. If you need something explained to you, ask. If you don't know where something is, ask. Don't be intimidated by coworkers or nurse managers who feel, some type of way. I I kind of hate it when you go to a facility and people just treat you badly as a new employee because it just makes people not want to stay, and then you have staffing problems and all this other stuff going on, which is another story. But anyways, if you guys would like more tips, I know this video was kind of all over the place, but if you would like more tips, I can sit down and make like a whole list of things that I found helpful, more than what I just said right here. But anyways, if there's anything else that you would like to hear me talk about as far as CNA tips, nursing school, things like that, let me know and I'd be glad to make a video for you. And with that being said, that's all I have for right now. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I will see you guys again soon.